How are you? It has been a long time since I've posted a video, but I'm excited to post this one. I've been working on it for a while. I bought a house in December and we actually moved over the holidays. So things have been crazy since then. And I had really planned on getting this out a lot sooner, but better late than never, I guess. But I wanted to give you a tour of the 1980s house that I bought, which we absolutely love, and just talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we have done sort of early on to make it feel more like home, because it is such a transition period to move from a place that you've lived in for many years and getting used to a new home and having it feel like your home. Sometimes it's a challenge up front, even though you really love it. Okay, so let's start the tour. It's the front door, obviously, and we're gonna go in. I really love the floors. There's a combination of tile and hardwood. And so this is the living room to the right with a big, beautiful fireplace. And then over here straight ahead is where the dining room is and the kitchen. And I love this kitchen. Of course, in this video, we don't have everything put up exactly how we will want it in the future, but it's good enough for now. And look at this big, beautiful window, looks out into the backyard. We have a shed and Scott has his own shop back there, but there's so much more room in this kitchen than my old kitchen. These deep drawers, we can put all of our pots and pans and our mixing bowls in there. And one of the first things I did was do a deep cleaning. And then we put this sort of plasticky, rubbery kind of shelf liner in there, or drawer liner, and it makes things much easier to clean. And then I got one of these extra long utensil liner things for one of the drawers, but I just love the amount of space that I have in this kitchen. The old house was a galley kitchen and it was cute and it had that sort of cottagey look to it, and I loved it, and it was there for me for many years. But I'm very excited that we have so much more space in this house to put everything that we need and things aren't so cramped. And I had fun with this project. I got these little things, these little spice holders, and this was a fun organizing project. And so this is the dining room, and it goes straight out to the backyard there, as you can see. And that is my parents' old buffet and old table that is sort of antique-ish, and I enjoy having that part of them with me. And then I just set up this little entryway where we can put our keys and things. And this is the living room. Look how much space we have. And you can see how big the fireplace is. It's really nice. And there's my mother's old china cabinet that we plan to redo, just like the buffet and the table at some point. We kept our same couch and everything because it's fine. It's easy to clean. But over here in this section of the wall is kind of a neat place. And I think we're going to put in some built-ins here. I think Scott's going to try to work on making some built-in cabinets and bookcases there. I think that'll be really pretty. And we got this fireplace insert. There was really just a big hole there before, but it's a big fireplace and we can build a huge fire, which we have already tried out at this point. I went ahead and added some decor. And of course, it's subject to change. I'm always changing out my decor, but it does help to make the house feel more like home. And these pictures here, Scott's mom got us from an old hotel estate kind of sale thing. And I just think they're really cute and add a little bit of color to the room. And we bought the console table from a neighbor that his wife had died, and it was one of her favorite things. And I just really, really loved it. So I also wanted to put up some curtains because I really think that makes a big difference to make it feel more home-like. And in one of the boxes that I forgot I found my mother's old glass fruit, and I added a couple of pieces just for myself that I got, which was the strawberry and the lime. But I'm really happy to display these because it just really reminds me of my mom, also with the old jug there to the right. So this is the hall bathroom, and I wasn't too crazy about the tile at first. It kind of reminds me of the gas station bathroom floors, but then it started kind of growing on me, and I really just think it gives it a lot of character. And I like the idea of the furniture as the vanity. I just really think it adds a richness to everything, and we like it. So moving down the hall, we're going to go into the master bedroom. And of course, this isn't exactly how we want it yet, but this is what it looks like for now. And I've put up some pictures. We just reused some of the pictures that we already had. And of course, my Raven lamp over there, which is my pride and joy. And I got a vanity so I could put on my makeup there in the room, because the master bathroom actually isn't as big as my older house was. It's nicer, don't get me wrong, but it's just not quite as big. There's not as much counter space. And this is our old roll top desk that we redid and we refinished it. Of course, we have some other things to do with that at some point. And another important thing that I did right off the bat was to set up my nightstand. I just think that's important with this little remote caddy here. It controls the lights. And also my daylight alarm clock is a big deal for me because it helps me wake up in the morning. And I am not a morning person. I have gone on and on about that on this channel before, so you probably know. And also I wanted to show you, we did install this new light and fan. There was not a fan in here. It was one of those little lights that kind of went up. It just was like stuck on the ceiling. But this light, you can use a remote control on it. You can change the light temperature. You can change the fan speed. You can change the brightness of the light. There are so many different options with this light. It's really fun to kind of play with. It even changes colors like blue and yellow and red, things like that. It's really cool. Okay, so here's the bathroom, and it has those yellow lights, and we do plan to change those out, but it's really pretty. It has that sort of old-timey look to it a little bit, and the top is actually marble. We did have to call someone in here to just sort of restore it a little bit, and it looks a lot better now. And Scott put this vanity, I just got it from Amazon. He put this thing together, and he said it was the worst, most involved thing he'd ever put together as far as, you know, flat pack furniture goes. And he said he would never put another one of these things together because it was so much of a pain. But I love it because I can sit in there and do my hair and my makeup, and I don't have to do it all in the bathroom. Okay, so we're going to go back into the hallway, and I've added a bit of artwork there. And then this is what I'm super excited about. This is sort of the office slash playroom slash guest room. It was so much fun. I added my sort of pinkish purplish curtains, and my desk is all set up there. And then we have my walking pad and a little cabinet for printer and office supplies. But we have a toy box over here to the right that you can't really see. And then this couch is what they call a boneless couch, and it will fold completely out. And, you know, you can't really mess that up. Kids can't mess it up. Guests can't mess it up. And it's just perfect for all the situations. So we're still putting things together, and I got this console table for the entryway, something where you can kind of put your keys when you come in the front door. So I need to set that up. And then we still have to hang this mirror in the entryway. This is an old mirror that Scott had. And then this is the backyard. It's so nice. We just really didn't use the backyard in our old house. There just wasn't much back there. We didn't really have a back door. We had a side door that you had to go out and walk around the back end of the house. So it just wasn't very convenient. But as you can see, the sprinklers have gone off and there's water everywhere. But we kind of did a few little things. We put our rocking chairs out here and a little table back there. So it's fun to kind of sit out here after work every day and just kind of enjoy the birds. The birds are insane. They are flying around everywhere out here, but you can see there's a bigger yard here. And I'm trying not to show the house behind us because I think they would enjoy their privacy. Oh, and here's Coco. She is loving the backyard. She runs back and forth all the time. She loves the squirrels and the birds. And another thing is that we have a big garage now. I did have a garage before, but Scott had a lot of his woodworking equipment in the garage. So it wasn't a place where we could actually use it for anything but that. So I'm excited to get this thing cleaned out and start using it. And then, of course, the baking. The baking has started, and I'm trying out new recipes to see how this oven works. I am really enjoying the size of this kitchen. We can both get in this kitchen, and I can bake and he can cook, and there's just plenty of room to move around. I'm really trying to get used to this new oven, though. It's not baking properly. It's an Electrolux, and I think it's probably about 18 years old, so it's not working really super well. Okay, so if you've seen any of my older videos, you might remember that I am also a cake blogger. I have a cake website. I do recipe development for cakes and cake decorating tutorials on that website. So I wanted to show you what it's like when I am developing a recipe. It's not always to this extent, but sometimes I have to redo it multiple times just to get it right. And this is the 8th time for this cake. It is a sour cream chocolate chip coffee cake. And the first time the taste was perfect, but I had too much batter and it sort of overflowed the pan and it over browned on the top. And so ever since then, I've been trying to get the proportions correctly without it over browning on the top. And this is the 8th time because I just want to get this one perfect. And everybody loves it so far that I've given it to taste test for me. And then I'm going to have a friend just double check the oven measurements for me, or the oven temperature and the length of time to bake for me, because this oven in this new house is different than my old oven, and I just want to make sure that everything is correct. Also, I will show you what this looks like. I keep looking down and this is what I'm looking at. This is my recipe. This is how crazy this looks, and my oven just went off, but this is how crazy this looks whenever I'm developing a recipe. Also, not all of them are to this extent, but some of them end up like this. So I better go check the cake. One of the things that I love the most is this huge window in front of the sink, and I can just sit there and at least have something nice to look at while I'm cleaning. And still trying to get this recipe right. It is just not baking like I would like it to. The middle is not puffing up, and it's just an oven issue because my other oven did not do this. So now it's back to my computer and I'm trying to update the recipe so that I can retry this again and try to figure out what's going on. I really like the texture inside of it. I just would really like the oven to bake it more evenly. And as you can see, this does not stop me from eating it for breakfast the next morning. I'm so glad that we got everything moved in. We still have a lot to do. We have a lot of projects that we want to do, and we've had some issues. We had some plumbing issues when we moved in, which have mostly been resolved at this point, but we're having fun getting used to this house. In the beginning, I missed my old house because that's what I was used to. And I'd had that old house since I was 27 years old, and that's been a long time ago. And it just is what felt like home to me. So it really did take me quite a minute to think of this place as my home. Even though I knew it was my home, I bought it. It just was a little while for me to feel like it was home. And I think all these little touches, I think that really helped to make it feel more like home. But I'm really excited to show you what we do with this house. We have some fun projects planned. So that's all I got for now. Thank you for hanging out with me and for going on this house tour with me. And I will see you next time. Bye.